There's a sentence that will absolutely wreck you if you let it sink in long enough. Someone can love you and still not care about you. I know that sounds contradictory. I know it sounds like it should be impossible. How can those two things exist in the same person at the same time? But if you have ever laid awake at 3 in the morning wondering why someone who says they love you can make you feel so utterly alone, then you already know exactly what I am talking about. And this might be the most important conversation you have with yourself this year. So stay with me on this one. Let me set the stage for you. Think about the last time somebody told you they loved you. Now think about what happened after those words left their mouth. Did they follow through? Did they check on you the next time you were struggling? Did they notice when something was wrong without you having to spell it out? Or did those three words just kind of float there in the air, beautiful but hollow, like a balloon with nothing inside it? Because here's what most of us were never taught growing up: love and care are two completely different things. They can overlap, and when they do, it is magical. But they do not automatically come as a package deal. And confusing one for the other is the reason so many good hearted people spend years feeling starved in relationships that look perfectly fine from the outside. Let me break this down. Love, at its core, is a feeling. It is a spark, an attachment, an emotional pull toward another person. You can feel love for someone without lifting a single finger for them. You can feel love sitting on your couch, doing absolutely nothing. Love requires no action, it just exists inside you, like a weather pattern. It shows up, it shifts, it storms, it calms. But caring is something entirely different. Caring is a decision you make every single day. It is a choice to pay attention, to notice when someone is hurting, to put their needs alongside your own, even when it costs you something. Caring is showing up when it is inconvenient. It is saying, I am sorry, when your ego is screaming at you to stay silent. It is remembering the little things, because the little things matter to the person you claim to love. Caring is love with its sleeves rolled up. And too many people are walking around offering love with their hands in their pockets. Now, here's where it gets painful. There are specific ways this shows up in your life, and I want to walk through them because once you see these patterns, you cannot unsee them. The first way is when someone hurts you and then acts like nothing happened. You know the feeling. Something went wrong between you two. Maybe they said something cruel. Maybe they disappeared when you needed them most. Maybe they broke a promise that meant the world to you, and you are sitting there waiting for some kind of acknowledgement. You are not demanding a grand apology on bended knee. You just want them to say, hey, I know that was not okay. But instead, they walk back into the room, cracking jokes, scrolling their phone, asking what is for dinner, as if the thing that shattered something inside you simply did not occur. And here's the sinister part: they are counting on you to go along with it. They know that if they act normal for long enough, you will start acting normal too. The awkwardness will pass, the wound will get buried, and they never have to pay the emotional cost of accountability. Every time this cycle repeats, a little piece of trust dies quietly, and eventually you realize this person is not a safe place to bring your pain because your pain is an inconvenience to them. The second way is when they dodge every meaningful conversation. You have been carrying something heavy for weeks. You finally gather the nerve to bring it up. You pick your moment carefully. You take a breath. And the second you start talking about something real, they change the subject. They check their phone. They give you a one word answer. They say, can we not do this right now? And somehow, right now, never arrives. This is not an accident. This is someone telling you through their behavior that they are unwilling to meet you at any depth that requires effort from them. And over time, you stop bringing things up. You learn which topics are off limits. You start hiding more and more of your authentic self because you have been trained that vulnerability only leads to a wall. That is loneliness inside a relationship, and it is one of the worst kinds there is. The third way is the absence of support. I am not talking about one missed event or a single scheduling conflict. I am talking about a pattern where this person is consistently absent from your corner. You share something exciting, and they barely react. You go through something devastating and they do not check on you. You accomplish something meaningful and they act like it never happened. Meanwhile, they celebrate other people with enthusiasm. They remember every detail of things that matter to them: their favorite team's schedule, the release date of a show they are watching, a friend's birthday they would never miss. But the things that matter to you, blank space, silence, because people remember what is important to them. If they are not remembering your milestones, your struggles, your victories, it is not a memory problem. It is a priority problem. The fourth way might be the most devastating because it is the quietest. It is when you feel completely alone, even though they are sitting right next to you. On the surface, everything looks fine. You are in the same room, you are sharing the same meal. An outsider looking in would think everything is great. But you know the truth. There is an invisible wall between you. You are talking, but not connecting. You are physically close, but emotionally miles apart. And this distance has become so normal that you have started to wonder if maybe this is just what relationships are supposed to feel like. It is not. That gap you feel is real. It is the sign of someone who has checked out emotionally while still occupying physical space in your life. They are going through the motions without any warmth behind them, and you find yourself working harder and harder to bridge a distance that they are not even trying to close from their side. So, why does this happen? Why do people love you but fail to care for you? Sometimes it is a maturity issue. They genuinely feel something for you, but have not developed the emotional tools to translate that feeling into consistent action. Sometimes it is selfishness. They love the version of you that serves them, the version that gives, forgives, stays loyal, and asks for nothing. But the real you, with needs and boundaries and expectations, that version is too much work. Sometimes they love the idea of you more than the reality. The concept of having someone devoted to them is appealing, but the daily effort of actually showing up for another human being is more than they are willing to invest. And here's the trap: when someone says, I love you, it activates something deep in us. We want so badly to believe it that we accept those words as a substitute for everything else. We tell ourselves, at least they love me. And that becomes the excuse that keeps us holding on through months and years of neglect, inconsistency, and emotional starvation. Love without action becomes a chain, not a gift. It keeps you anchored to someone who has no intention of meeting you where you are. Now, let me tell you what to do with this awareness, because knowledge without action is just more suffering with extra steps. First, stop measuring a relationship by what someone says and start measuring it by what they consistently do. Words are free. Anyone can say anything. Behavior is where the truth lives. Second, stop shrinking yourself to avoid conflict with someone who should be growing alongside you. If you have to make yourself smaller so that someone stays comfortable, that is not a relationship. That is a cage. Third, learn the difference between emotional attachment and genuine emotional investment. Attachment says, I cannot leave even though this is destroying me. Investment says, I am choosing to stay because this person meets me with the same energy I bring. Those are wildly different things, and most people confuse them for their entire lives. And finally, understand this: walking away from someone who loves you but does not care for you is not a betrayal, it is an act of self respect. You are not abandoning them. You are refusing to abandon yourself any longer. If someone in your life fits the patterns I have described today, I am not telling you to blow up your relationship tonight. I am telling you to stop pretending you do not see it. Get quiet. Get honest. Pay attention to what their behavior has been telling you for months or maybe years. Your gut already knows the answer. It has known for a long time. You were never asking for too much. Wanting to feel seen, supported, valued, and chosen is not a luxury. It is the bare minimum of what a real relationship should provide. And the moment you stop accepting anything less than that, you create space for the kind of people who will not just say they love you, but will prove it every single day through their actions, their attention, their effort, and their consistency. The right person will not make love feel like a guessing game. They will make all the confusion of your past finally make sense. You just have to be willing to let go of what is familiar so you can reach for what you actually deserve. If this hit home for you today, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Take care of yourself.